So the people that have been following my videos are aware I've been consumed with this houseboat renovation for the last year plus. And then this canopy build in the foundry, but it is done. It is moved out. It is on the houseboat. And I think that's the last home project I need to deal with on the houseboat. So it's time to reclaim my foundry. It was Thursday morning, the day after the 4th, and I thought I would just do a random foundry video. I haven't done a whole lot of work in the foundry in the last year. The houseboat has been kind of all-consuming, but it's time to get back to it. For starters, the electric forklift is here, and it has no lift cylinders because part of the lift cylinders are at the shop, but they should be through, so I can get them back and try to put this thing back together and make it go park in its own little garage. This is the empty garage. It needs a forklift and it needs to get out of here. Now this week actually I received this hose reel for compressed air, and I mounted it, and it's awesome. It will reach anywhere in the shop and out the front door and out the back door. I had to put a regulator on it because my air pressure is 160 psi, and it breaks most hoses. So in the kiln we have remnants of children's art that didn't do so well. Blew up. Must have had moisture in it. I have always had this hose bib that's over here in the corner. Typically in the past I had a hose running outside. Atypically I would turn the hose on when I was doing a burnout, just in case something were to happen. Shirt catches on fire or something, I could run outside, I'd have water. But more often than not I would forget to turn the thing on, and if something bad happened up here I wouldn't be able to get to it. So I reconfigured that and put a hose bib outside so I can always have access to water no matter what kind of calamity is going on inside. And I don't know where this hose bib came from, but it is smaller than normal and it doesn't fit the hose. It's weird. So got a Home Depot hose bib. I need to put that on today. Workbench is pretty much back to normal pre-houseboat days. I have another workbench here that was given to me, and I'm not sure where I'm going to put it or what to do with it, but I'll never turn down a steel work table. These are some Grand Banks step plates. Grand Banks is a brand of boat, and these step plates go on the bulwarks where you step on them to get into the boat, and it's kind of like a non-slip little step pad. It protects the varnish, and it looks cool. And I've cast and sold a bunch of these, but this might be the last ones. You know, I'm retired. I'm supposed to be doing this for fun. I don't really need the money. Not that I'm a rich man, but I don't need this money. And they're not so much fun anymore, so I'm gonna have to pull the plug on these and just not do them anymore. Or maybe just if people ask. I won't push them like I did for a while. I have this empty sea can. It's 8 by 12, and it's insulated with these insulated panels, and it's pretty much empty of anything of any importance. And I'm kind of thinking one day I might want to get a little electric lathe or mill, or you know, something that I can do accurate work in machining the bronze. So I kind of got my eyes out. If anybody knows of anyone that has one to sell, it can't be too big because I got to be able to get it in here. But it's a nice little room, and it's well lit, and I can put an air conditioner in it to make it climate controlled. The ceramic shell room hasn't changed much in the last year. We've got in the works are the 2 casts of the 3 Kings for my wife. This is the 3rd dip, so it'll be a little while. But I did add air and a little nozzle. This is I copied World Traveler, Jason so that when you dip the mold, you can use compressed air to kind of clean it off, spread the slurry around better, and knock off any air bubbles. So this fairly new. My big drill press is an item fairly new from this year. I'm pretty happy with it. It has some play. It's not like machine quality, but it's strong and it'll drill anything I need. But the chuck, this number 2 Morse taper chuck, is a piece of crap. I got to get a new one. You can't tighten the bits. You can't keep the bits from spinning in it. It's very frustrating. So I may shop for one of those today. My wax table and my wax working area is the pits. It is due for an update. I've updated it once already, but it needs another one. I need a flatter surface, a bigger surface, and I need the burner grill to be flush with the tabletop, because what happens is I'm trying to move these hot pots around and there'll be boiling water in them, and I need to just be able to slide them with one hand and not have to pick them up and find a level spot to put them. So it's a mess. And then on this wax injector pot, I started using it, and it's great, but it makes a mess every time you use it. Well, it makes a mess probably because I don't know what I'm doing, but I need some kind of way to contain this horrible mess. So that's going to be coming up soon. I finally purchased some proper grit sanding belts. This is the belt sander I use to level the bottoms off of the castings when we cast bronze. And I've been using some belts that I had at home, and they don't last very long at all on the bronze, but these blue ones should. So that's a nice improvement. And my wax room is a mess, a lot of uncompleted projects. This is 2 waxes of the Nautoline logo that came on the houseboat. I do want to cast them in aluminum and put them back on the boat. This is a Grand Banks logo that I have cast and sold many of, but I'm kind of done with that. I actually have 2 boxed up that are ready to ship that the purchaser changed his mind, so I think I'm going to sell the ones I have and not pour anymore unless somebody just really wants me to. You know, it's kind of, they're not fun anymore, and I'm supposed to be having fun over here. So this table is a mess. I have a lot of unfinished projects. This little angel needs a block of wood to sit on. This is a ridiculously big mold for the 3 Kings, in which I should have a video coming out soon. This is an injection mold. This is the mold for the Nautoline. This is 2 waxes for the closed chocks, and the 3rd one's in the mold. And I sent one to the guy that I'm doing these for, and he's supposed to check them to make sure they work before I cast any more. But I'm probably going to end up casting these 3 and 3 more after that, and I'm just kind of in a holding pattern. Here's a little Holy Family that needs to be patinaed and mounted. Here's a Christ Victorious that's finished in the background, and here's one that needs to be finished off. I made those bronze table legs, geez, forever ago, and never did anything with them because we got distracted with the houseboat. I got some more hollow wax sticks that need to be cast. This is the mold for the Grand Banks step plate. Plastic cast for the Grand Banks step plate. I don't know what I'll ever do with that. Maybe hang it on the wall. And if you saw the houseboat canopy top videos, this is the mold for the post supports, the 2 that go down low. And this is the mold for the post supports that hang on the cabin side, and probably both of those need to go in the garbage because I can't see ever making another one. And if you saw one of my last videos was the canopy top for the houseboat. That left lots of aluminum scraps. The
Crucible's full. I got a bunch more aluminum scraps on the ground out there. In the past, I have only melted cast aluminum parts, not extrusions. It's my understanding extrusions, well, I don't really know. Somebody said extrusions are different, don't melt those. Well, pretty sure this 1/2-inch rigid aluminum conduit is extruded, and most of those parts are extruded. So I'm going to melt them and pour ingots just to kind of clean up the yard, and I'll just mark them with a different color so I'll know that it's a different grade. I have 2 grades already, one the common extrusions like this engine part, and one which was diesel engine pistons, which I melted a bunch of them, so I think that's probably a different grade of aluminum. I'm not a metallurgist, I don't really know all this stuff. And this scrap bronze bucket, people still give me scrap bronze even though I haven't used it in a while. I'll melt it down and pour ingots just to clean up this mess. So that's where we are. Got a lot of cleanup, a lot of parts to finish, and today we're going to melt aluminum and at least be done with that.
This is an engine part. It's way too big to put in the furnace, and I tried to break it up with the maul, but it wasn't having none of that, so cutting it up with the bandsaw. I have 2 mechanic friends that save the cast aluminum for me, and then in the beginning I was cutting the stuff apart to get out all the embedded pieces of steel and like vulcanized rubber and everything, but no more. I just throw it in the crucible and the junk either floats to the top or sinks to the bottom. It's real easy to melt this aluminum stuff down.
Aluminum's kind of fun. Once you get it up to temperature, you can almost steady add stuff to the pot because it just melts. Melting junk. Clean up. Day 1 on the foundry take back. I got these 5 step plates cut loose from the sprues, and the back's ground flat so they'll sit flat on people's boats. And I got all the little boogers cleaned up with the little pencil grinder. So these are ready to be re-bee blasted, stain the background dark, and sand the raised part smooth. And that'll be it for these. The little Christ Victorious, I cut it loose from the sprues, and I'm gonna need to weld on it. It's got some cavities in the back, and the little sticks didn't come out long enough. Like this is what it's supposed to look like. So see, both sticks are a little short, but I kept some of the sprue or the vent so I can weld it and the metal will match. So we'll do that tomorrow. And I melted 2 batches of scrap aluminum, rescue aluminum. It is probably 80% by weight cast and probably 20% extruded. I put a lot of extruded items in there, but they didn't weigh very much. So, and I dipped the Three Kings twice today, so we had a good day. Tomorrow I'm going to keep working on taking back my foundry.